All right, well, welcome back, Lions, to the formal portion of spring 2023 new student orientation. Hopefully everybody had a great time at the breakout activity of Sorry I'm Late, and had a lot of good excuses as to why you were late to your first orientation session. That you can now parlay into your bag of tricks as you start your academic journey with us next week. Now, we are going to move into a little bit more of a formal presentation, so that way you have some information at the ready, so you are as clear as possible what expectations are, what the college is all about, what you can look forward to as you begin your first set of classes for the semester next week. And then we will open it up to Q&A once again at the end to wrap things up and make sure that whatever burning questions you may have personally, or it might be something for the good of the order, we're able to get those answered for you today before you head out and start your long weekend before you begin the semester next week. Do keep in mind that we are off. The college is closed in honor and celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. So the spring semester will formally start on Tuesday of next week. Okay, we'll remind you that again before we head out. But if you normally have a class that is on a Monday, it will not start this Monday. The college is closed. It will begin on Tuesday, okay, or the following Monday whenever your class is supposed to meet. So with that, once again, welcome to the Pride. We're going to just give you a little bit of information to get you started here, so that way you don't miss what we provide to the folks who come to an in-person orientation session. We are giving you the same information in a shorter period of time, so bear with us. Today, we want to make sure that you walk away with some information in particular about what the expectations are, what you should experience here as a student, an involved student, hopefully on campus, what resources and support programs are available to you to be successful. And hopefully already during our first two activities, you were able to have a chance to meet each other and meet some of our staff members who will be your support people and your cheerleaders and champions for your time here at the college, and make sure you're successful. So with that, I want to welcome you to the college and want you to see what the college is all about in terms of a typical day here at the institution. It is always a flutter of activity, and we are, always moving and shaking. And there's the spring semester is certainly, if not the busiest, the next busiest next to fall. But I feel like fall starts with a whirlwind and we end with a bang in the spring. And it is a race to the finish with commencement quickly approaching. So even though you aren't there just yet, please know that our goal is to get you from orientation to orientation, and we plan to do that as best as we can with you. So with that, please enjoy this welcome video, and hopefully you can hear it. Let me know if you can't. Lindsay, I'm going to look at you. Unmute yourself if you can't hear it and tell me, okay?
That is loud.
Better? So welcome to the Pride. We're very excited to have you here at the college. And that is a glimpse of what you can expect to see on campus when you do join us in person. If you only have virtual classes, online classes, whether that be fully online or synchronous or versus asynchronous, or you have hybrid classes, there's still plenty of ways to be able to get involved on campus. And we encourage you to do so. We have a lot of different activities and programs that are available just like this in a virtual sense. So please continue to join us in those ways. And the best way that you can find out about all the activities, leadership opportunities, clubs and organizations that we have to offer here at the college is to visit our Pride portal. The Pride portal is the online campus engagement hub. That is the best way to find out what's happening on a day-to-day basis and how to get involved and stay in touch. So please visit that regularly and often. Also, the best way to find out what's happening at the college daily, you should be checking your email, your CCP email specifically. So make sure that you, if you're not yet accustomed to going in there to your student.ccp.edu email account, and if you don't think that that's going to be you as the type of person that can check 2 emails simultaneously, your personal account and your college account, make sure you go into the CCP email and have it tinkered with to forward to your personal account, because that is the primary #1 way that the college communicates with you on a regular basis, whether it be student life, student development offices, whether that be financial aid, whether that be academics, your advisors, your counselors. They're going to communicate with you by your CCP email. So make sure you don't miss anything and you check on that regularly and daily. Next, whether it's in-person or virtual classes, every course will also have a shell in Canvas. So there are online modules that will provide you with your syllabus, provide you with course materials. If it is an online class or a hybrid class, it'll be the way that you can submit assignments and discussion posts. So in Canvas is how you will access course material. There is a separate training on what Canvas is and how to review and familiarize yourself with Canvas. The information was in the email that we sent about signing up for orientation. So I encourage you to go back to that email and sign up for one of the 2 sessions that they have to offer. I will, at the end of this session, provide those links to you in the chat as well. If I don't, please feel free, someone can remind me. But make sure you check out the Canvas training that is not discussed in here. That is a specific training to help get you underway for that. You should also familiarize yourself before next week with the ccp.edu website, but also the internal website. Now that you are part of the college community, we have what's called a MyCCP portal. That's myccp.online, and you will be able to sign in with your username and password credentials to get into the backside of the college portal. And that's where you'll be able to conduct all sorts of business, check your grades, contact your instructors, register for courses through Banner, self-service web. All that information is contained within the MyCCP portal, so get familiar with that as well. And then finally, you want to bookmark the Virtual Student Resource Center page. I'll put that in the chat at the end of the session. That is was created during the pandemic, but has become a staple even hereafter as we return to in-person operation, because what we did was put all of the student support services web pages linked off of one resource center page. So that way you don't have to explore our entire website to find out what services we have, what you might be able to be assisted with and be helped by. All of it is now linked off of one Virtual Student Resource Center page so that you have easy access to find out more about all the great programs and services that can help you. So make sure you check that out. Some important places if you're attending classes in person on our main campus. Some of the bigger ticket places you'll see is the Pavilion Building. In the Pavilion Building, we have the bookstore as well as our cafe. It's called Rory's Cafe. You can grab a bite to eat there while you're in between classes. Get your books, get some Lion gear. and also the admissions and welcome centers in the Pavilion building. This is all at the corner of 17th and Spring Garden Streets. Across the street from Pavilion is the Bunnell building, and there are several student support services areas in that building, of which I'll talk about more intimately in a second. Then, of course, we want to make sure that you swing on by at some point to the Gwinnett Student Life building, right across the street and adjacent to the Pavilion building, where we have all of our clubs and organizations, student leadership opportunities, many support programs and offices in the Gwinnett Student Building as well for you. And if you are taking classes at our regional centers, many of these programs and services and support offices are also available or maintain hours at the Northeast Regional Center, the West Regional Center, and our very new Career and Advanced Technology Center that's located next to the West Regional Center. So check those out as well. In terms of student support services, some that you can find in the Bunnell building would be our academic advising and our counseling department. Both of these areas provide similar services. Specifically, though, our advisors help with our incoming classes and our incoming students. So all of you should be working with our advising team as new students. If there are anyone in the room who's not necessarily a new student per se, and we define that here as anyone who is a new first time in college. So if this is the first time you've ever attended any college, you would be considered a new student here at the college and be working with our advisors. If you are transferring from another institution and have college credit somewhere else before coming to CCP, you are considered a transfer student, and you would work with our counseling staff. Either which way, they offer similar services to make sure that they can help get you registered for classes, help get you on a course to completion of what you should take and when throughout each of the upcoming semesters to get you on a path to complete either a degree or a certificate, or if your goal is to attain enough credits to transfer into a four-year institution. Those counselors and advisors will help walk you through what your plan of action is here academically to be able to, succeed how you wish to before you move on to the next journey, whether that be in the career field or whether that be to a four-year institution. Also in the Bunnell building, you can find our financial aid and tuition support service areas that can help you with the financial aspect of paying for and being able to afford being here at the college. Our records and registration team is there. So if you need transcripts to be able to move on to a four-year institution, they can help you and assist you there as well. In the corner of 18th and Callowhill Streets on the main campus is our Center for Business and Industry, or CBI. And that houses many of our business courses, as well as our Career Connections, which is our career services office that will help you get connected to either internships or full-time employment after you graduate or while you are here as a student. They can help you with mock interviewing, they can help with resume and cover letter development, and they host a variety of different workshops and job fairs throughout the course of each semester. Additional support services that you can find on campus in the main campus area are student support service areas within the student life building itself. Some listed here. We have a male engagement program, a women's center, an LGBT center, just to name a few. In our Bunnell building, the Center on Disability, who can provide help and support with any accommodations that you may need, as well as our Veterans Resource Center. And within the Mint building, we have Single Stop that can help with a variety of different programs and services that you might need. Some examples include tax prep, any benefits that you might be eligible for after you complete a screening process, financial counseling, and more. Some programs and activities that our student development division provides to you. We've got a slew of both intramural and intercollegiate athletic programs to be able to offer you. So whether you're looking to just participate and play and stay in shape for fun, or you want to be more competitive and be on our intercollegiate teams and our Division III teams, please feel free to check out our athletics center, which also has a fitness center available to you, and that's for any and all students and faculty and staff to use. And we just are about to complete and unveil a brand new renovation in terms of our gymnasium in the athletic center. So when you get started next week, you'll have a very new place to be able to participate and learn and grow in from a physical, mental health perspective. We've also got a variety of ways you can get involved with our clubs and organizations. We've got a lot of general clubs and organizations that you can choose from, or if there's something that you don't see on our organization directory on the Pride portal that you would like to get started here, maybe it's something you were interested in high school, or something that you're involved with now in the community that you would like to bring here, you can start a new club or organization. We are also, we host and run a snack rack that offers a food pantry weekly that you can participate in and benefit from, as well as a garden, community garden that Genevia and her team oversee. And we always need volunteers to be able to help with the planting seasons. You can see a great picture in action there with Rory leading the way and the team with Genevia and Ida behind them. We also have our tier 1 organizations that you want to get involved with from a leadership perspective that help provide the voice of the student body here at the college. That would be our Student Government Association, as those are elected officials, and they also take volunteers to help with some of the committee work that they do, as well as our student newspaper is called the Vanguard. They help report on the news and important developments that are taking place here at the campus. Great way for you to get published and be part of a writing team here at the college. And also we have a National Honor Society for community colleges. That's Phi Theta Kappa. And you'll learn more about that as you enter here into your journey here at the college. And if you're interested in getting involved from a volunteer's perspective, we actually have something on Monday, since you won't be having classes, with Martin Luther King Jr. Day starting off this semester. We work closely with our Institute for Community Engagement and Civic Leadership, and they organize most of the volunteer opportunities on campus, and they will have an opportunity at Girard College to help get folks in the community registered to vote in the upcoming elections. So if you want to help with that activity already or future volunteer opportunities, the Institute is there for you, and they are in the Winnett Student Life Building on the 3rd floor. Quickly, things that you will also be responsible for as you begin your time here as a student. You need to know the code of conduct. That is contained within the student handbook. Student handbook is on the website. I will also drop a link for that in the chat momentarily. Student handbook contains a lot of the information that I'm sharing with you today in terms of important resources and programs and services and offices that you can get in touch with here as a student at the college. But it also contains the code of conduct on pages 51 through 70. Why do I know that? Because I reference it almost daily. As the interim dean of students, I am also the chief judicial officer, and I uphold the code of conduct, meaning that if anybody falls out of line and does not live up to the behavioral expectations on campus, then you'll be seeing me in a much different form and fashion to talk about how we can get you back on track to ensure that you're upholding the code in the classroom and outside the classroom. So it's your expected to know the code, know your rights as a student, and all of that information can be found within the student handbook. So brush up on that before you join us next week. Within that handbook, there are also a lot of college policies. A couple that I want to point out to you specifically is that we are a drug and alcohol free campus. So make sure that you keep those items either free from yourself at all times or minimally free from your person while you are on campus, so that you are not in violation of that particular policy. Additionally, we follow FERPA Act, which is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. Essentially what FERPA is, if you're not familiar, it is the college and universities version of HIPAA, your health, personal health records that are near and dear to you and that are only available to you confidentially, as well as your doctors and nursing practitioners. Here at the college, your educational record that includes not only your class record, your grades and academics, but also your disciplinary record, your payment record, anything that is connected to you and your student account. That is confidential to you and you alone. If you want us to be able to share that information with a spouse, a partner, a significant other, mom, dad, a guardian, uh, any children, whomever it may be, you need to give us written approval to do so. So a lot of times what we have is folks who someone in their family is footing the bill for them to come to college, and they're paying the tuition bill, but they don't have access and wish to have access to certain things of the student's record, and we can't give that to them. So we will lean on you to let us know who we can communicate with above and beyond yourself with your student record. Lastly, we are a non-discrimination based campus that includes all classifications, gender, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, et cetera, et cetera. We are an open and free campus that values diversity. In fact, we just launched a sixth pillar of our strategic plan that is dedicated and focused to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we value the fact that we bring a variety of different folks to the table, both who work here, faculty and administration wise at the college, and who come to learn here in our classrooms. So please make sure that you also follow that non-discrimination policy, and you are good and treating everyone fairly and equitably that you come across at the college. Lastly, Title IX is an important policy that the college upholds as a federal mandate. Federally, Title IX came into play to ensure gender equity within intercollegiate athletics, but also more importantly now, as it has expanded over the years, is inclusive of all folks. Basically, the non-discrimination clause is factored into Title IX, saying that any college or university that accepts federal aid is required to ensure that everybody is protected and treated fairly at the college. We do receive federal aid here, so many of you are receiving federal financial aid. We fall under and abide by Title IX regulations. And part of Title IX now, over the years as it has evolved in statute and mandates, also includes the protection of sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and that not only falls under Title IX, but falls under the Code of Conduct. So ensure that you are fully aware of what that looks like. We do handle those cases regularly and often, unfortunately, throughout the course of any given semester. So make sure you're aware of what that looks like and what you're expected to do in terms of following those policies. Lastly, in terms of campus safety and security, we are in an urban institution smack dab in the middle of Center City, Philadelphia. But I would also venture to say that we are a very safe and secure campus, and that stems from the great team that we have in public safety that helps ensure the safety and security of everyone who attends the institution, and that we are a publicly open and publicly accessible campus. We have a lot of pieces in place to ensure safety and security. You can see here on this screen. I encourage you to take a screenshot or write these numbers down, put them in your phones. Anytime you are on campus and you are feeling unsafe or unsecure, you can call our security team and reach headquarters directly if you're on campus. Pick up any phone and dial 5555. We'll get you right to headquarters. If you are around campus and you have your cell phone with you, you can call the 215-751-8111 number to get you to the headquarters. And also on campus, you'll note when you are physically here, there are blue lights, blue phones that are on campus grounds externally. So if you're having trouble outside the buildings and there's an emergency, you can pick up those phones. And if you're safe for the moment, you can speak directly to a security officer. Or if you're not and you need to get moving because there's someone chasing you or there's something happening on campus that you can't remain in place, you can just pull it off the hook and security will dispatch to that area to find out what is the problem and how they can resolve it. Likewise, inside the buildings, there are red phones. Again, you can pick those phones up directly and be connected with security. We also will communicate with you, whether it's school closures or notifications of an emergency related nature. You'll receive notifications both via text message, phone call, and email alert through our notification system. And if you particularly have evening classes and you are feeling unsafe getting from the campus grounds to your car, wherever you may have parked near or around campus, or if you have taken public transportation in, you can call security and they will provide a in-person escort to get you from your class building to wherever you need to get to, okay? Lastly, when you are on campus, you want to make sure that you are connected to our Wi-Fi services so you don't waste all of your broadband and your own cellular data plan. So take a screenshot of this. When you are on campus, it is a private, secure, and hidden network. So you need to physically and manually enter CCP WLAN into your devices to be able to connect and log into our Wi-Fi. Once you've done it once, your device will remember that and you'll be good to go, but you'll want to make sure that you take note of that. If you need any additional tech support or tech services, you can reach out to our IT team at extension 6000 if you're on campus, or 215-496-6000 from your mobile device. Lastly, we want to make sure that you stay connected with us above and beyond the Pride portal, which I'll open up in a minute, is our social media channels, both on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Feel free to follow the college at large is at CCP EDU, and student development is at CCP Student Development. So make sure you check us out there. And at this time, I am going to stop sharing, and I'm going to open up the floor for a Q&A session. Lots of folks typically have similar type of questions as we gear up and get started for the start of the semester. As I open up the floor for questions, I'm going to, as I mentioned during the my presentation, drop in a few key significant pieces and resources to you in the chat. So those might already answer some of your questions for you, but if they don't, please feel free to open it up now and ask whatever is coming to mind. So I'll ask, if you do have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead, and I'll answer it as best as I can.
I did have one question about the first day of class for the 17th. So some people's schedule might be for their class not to meet on Tuesday. So is that still like all classes will be meeting and it will count towards like any type of attendance?
Yes, if you are not scheduled to meet on a particular day, you will not meet that day. So if you are scheduled on typically on a Monday, so usually our schedules are in a block format, and you would have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, or Tuesday, Thursday classes. So like next week, prime example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes obviously will be slightly altered because Monday the institution is closed, so you would not have class Monday. So your first class in that series would be on a Wednesday, but then you would meet still that Friday, and then again the following Monday, and so forth the rest of the semester. Obviously, another time you won't meet this semester is during spring break. That's the next time I believe that we have off, which is I think the first full week of March, the 6th to the 10th. So obviously we won't have classes then. If you have a class on Tuesday, though, like say Tuesday, Thursday, it will start on next Tuesday. If you have a hybrid, or online class, what you need to determine if it's synchronous or asynchronous. The difference is that synchronous will have designated times that you will meet as a group virtually. So you'll want to take a look at your syllabus and see when you're expected to log on to a Zoom or whatever platform your instructor is using to meet during a specific date and time of the week. If it's asynchronous, it is you do the work on your own time and submit assignments when they are due according to the syllabus. So there's no physical date and time that you would need to meet up, but you need to check with your syllabus of, when and what is expected to be due when. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I wanted to ask a question. I was wondering, how do I change, because my roster says I'm in full-time classes, but the scholarship I signed up for said I need full-time classes to actually get accepted for the scholarship, but I only have 2 classes. How do I bring those classes to full-time, or are those 2 classes full-time? Like, I'm really confused because the roster says full-time, but I only have 2.
Are you a new first time in college student?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have never attended any other college, is that right?
right.
Okay. So you'll want to reach out to the advising team if you don't already have an advisor that you've been in touch with. You can reach
Well,
out to.
no, yeah, I've seen people, and this is like the second orientation. The first one was them helping us get, sign up for the classes and whatnot. So I am waiting for somebody that I can specifically talk to about things, but nobody has contacted me and told me anything else after that point. She just helped us with the classes and that's it. And I got into orientation on my own by going through the CCP account because I wanted to ask these questions because I don't know what to do at this point.
Okay. So I did put in the chat the advising email. That's their general email, but I'm also, and this goes for everybody with any related questions that I'm not either able to answer today or you think of something after the fact, when this session is over. Email advise the person who was just speaking, email advising about that question or concern that you had, but also copy our student development team. We'll make sure that we get you connected directly with a person in the advising office. Our email is studentdevelopment@ccp.edu. I just put that in the chat along with the advising email and the counseling center email. So again, all new students, new first time in college students, anybody who's never been at another college, you would work with the advising team. You want to email and contact advising@ccp.edu. Anybody who is a transfer student would work with our counseling team. They would email counseling@ccp.edu. In either instance, since we are so close to the start of the semester, I'd be happy if you copied student development at ccp.edu when reaching out to either our advising or counseling team. And we will also respond on your behalf and make sure that you get connected with someone specifically over there. They are very inundated, as you can imagine, with emails now. So we'll best be able to help connect you with an actual real-time person that can get you an answer within 24 to 48 hour window. Okay. Likewise, with any other type of questions that you might think of today, later tonight, before start of next week, that you don't think of now or just don't want to share with the good of the group here, feel free to email us at studentdevelopment@ccp.edu and include your J number, that's your student ID number, and also the reason for your concern and outreach, what your issue is, and we will either answer that directly for you, or if it's out of our wheelhouse, we will get you connected with the proper office that manages that particular need that you might have. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to still be dropping some information in the chat that are typically things that people ask about. I've already put a couple of things in there just to draw your attention. The Virtual Student Resource Center page, I put the link in there, link to our advising services area above and beyond their email that I put in there. You can check out everything they have to offer on the advising website. I mentioned about Canvas training. There's a Canvas and Zoom assistance website for you to check out. I also just put in information about the bookstore, particularly for the main campus, their hours of operation, and what you can expect in terms of if you need to come in physically to pick up books, what their hours are for the first couple of weeks of the semester, if you still need your textbooks. Anybody who is going to be on campus, either main campus or a regional center. If you're taking some sort of in-person classes, you will need a college ID. I just put that information in the chat. To be able to find or to be able to get your ID, you need to have two valid forms of identification that you bring with you. So make sure you either have a driver's license or a passport. And then also you need to show proof of registration that you're actually taking courses. So you'll want to have a printout or on your phone be able to bring up your courses that you're registered for the spring semester, along with some sort of proof of ID. And then you can go to the public safety office on the main campus or at the regional centers to get a college ID. You'll need that to access any buildings. I see we have a question from absent Albert. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have a question. So I tried contacting the Center for Disability, but they told me that I need to apply for a 504 plan. I don't even know what that is. Do you have any clue what that is?
I do, but they are the experts on that. Did they give you information on how to go about doing that?
No, they never did, and I haven't been able to figure out what it is to be able to submit it.
So I just put their email address in there. You probably already have it. But if you email them asking that question with an update and copy studentdevelopment@ccp.edu, I'll make sure that I circle back with some specific staff members in that area who can get you the answer to that question. Anybody else have questions? I also put the information in the chat about tech support on campus.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Hello. So I have two questions. So since getting financial aid, so how does the payment happen? If the payment done automatically, or we have to do it? And the second question is about laptop. How can we get a laptop for study, for virtual courses? Thank you.
Okay, so the first question is about tuition, about payment. Is that correct?
Yes, financial yes. How to pay?
So you can either pay in person at the service windows in the main, if you're on main campus. Those service windows are in the Bunnell building, and you can make a physical payment there. Or if you want to do electronic payment, that would be in the MyCCP portal, and you would go in on the student tab, and there's payment links in there to be able to complete tuition payments. Okay, and your other question was about computers?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll put some of that information in the chat as well in terms of using either, if you're looking to get a computer, you can actually use financial aid to buy a laptop. If you want to purchase one using financial aid, you can actually use bookstore credit as well.
I'm sorry, how do we use our financial aid to help us get laptops, like specifically?
I just dropped that in the chat if you didn't see it yet, so that will give you all the information that you need to know for how to do that. And I'm also going to put in here how to use our we have a loaner laptop program as well. So if you're not looking to purchase, but you just want to borrow one, the information is in there as well. Okay, so information in the chat on how to borrow a laptop from the college or purchase one using financial aid is in the chat as well. Okay. I think there are some people putting questions in the chat too. Because I'm copying and pasting information for you, I'm not seeing those as quickly. So if you don't mind, please unmute yourself and go ahead and ask that aloud.
One of the questions was if they can get a student ID card at the Northeast campus.
Yes, you can.
The other question I answered individually was, what is R on the schedule? That's Thursday. So if you see TR, that's usually Tuesday, Thursday.
Yes. Thank you for that. Usually that comes up and I think of it and remember to say it, but I did not this time. So on your schedules, when you look at it, there's a couple, different acronyms, both for days of the week, as well as the type of class you might be enrolled in, whether that be, again, in person or online. If it's online, you're going to see, things that either will tell you if it's synchronous or asynchronous, or if it's hybrid. A hybrid class means that it meets sometimes in person and sometimes online. Okay, so that's a different version. All that will be denoted on your schedule, and hopefully you know what you registered for. But you want to make sure, take a look at that before classes begin to make sure you registered for the right type of class that you were hoping to enroll in. The other acronyms that people get hung up on is the names of the buildings. They are not listed out on the schedule. They are denoted by a letter. So in most cases, the letter is the first letter of the building name. So in the case of Bunnell Building, it would start with a B, and then it would be the floor of your building, and then hyphen the numbered room that you're going to be in. So for example, if your class was in the first floor of Bunnell in room 12, you would see on your schedule it was B1-12. So Bunnell, first floor, room 12. That is pretty similar across the board for most of the buildings, particularly on the main campus, except for one. Because we have two buildings that have the same first letter, and it's an unusual one. We have two buildings with the letter W. We have a West building and we have the Winnett Student Life building. So the West building is denoted with a W, but the Winnett Student Life building is denoted with an S for Student Life instead of Winnett. But CBI is a C. Actually, it might say CBI fully on it. That's the Center for Business and Industry. Bunnell is B, P for Pavilion, and so on and so forth. Other questions that people can say out loud? I also put in there, even though I put the links for Canvas and Zoom Assistance, this is in the email that was sent to you all about orientation, but I wanted to put it in the chat. The extra training that will be taking place for Canvas. I encourage you all to attend that. It's not required, but strongly suggested. There's one tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 6, as well as on Friday during the lunch hour, 12:30 to 1. They're quick half-hour sessions that kind of go over all things Canvas, which is, again, is where your online resources for your classes will live. So there's two separate Zoom links there that you can just pop into. You don't need to register in advance. You can just jump into them.
Richard?
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So one of my classes doesn't have like a time or dates on it, like days on it. Like, what should I do about that?
Is it an online class?
Yes.
Okay, so that means that it's without looking at it, I'm assuming then that is asynchronous, which means that you won't ever have a date or time of the week that you need to log in. What you'll want to do though, when the syllabus becomes available, is to see when your assignments are due, because that will be like, the deciding factor of.
Okay, so that means it's like no Zoom, it's just straight online.
Correct. Your
Oh,
material
okay.
in the Canvas shell, they'll tell you what your assigned readings are, what your homework is, your assignments. All that will be communicated virtually, but there will not be a scheduled time that you need to log into something.
Okay, thank you.
A couple other questions. One, I don't know if we have a slide that tells where do you go for your student ID on which campus? Because that was a question. Where do you go to get your student ID?
I did
The other-
put that for the main campus. I put that in the chat. You have to scroll up, but for the main campus, it's in the Mint building, which is denoted with an M, and it's on the ground floor. So it's MG12 in the Mint building. That information is in the chat if you scroll up under Lion card, student ID card. For the regional centers, as soon as you go into them, you can ask at the front security desk where you can get those at the regional centers. But everything's pretty much contained within one building at the regional center, so you don't have to go far.
The other question is, do I need to buy the books before classes start?
Yeah, I strongly recommend it unless you want to fall behind quickly. Yes, so if you can't, you can't afford it, or if that's going to be an issue, you can also check out our library to see if they have any copies that you can loan out, or contact the professor to see if there's cheaper options, or if you can get used books. The bookstore does have used options. They also have rental options. So I encourage you to check out the bookstore. Again, the link for the website and the contact information is in the chat. They have a variety of different ways you can secure your textbooks, whether buy it outright, rent it, buy used, all those.
Question, when do you get your syllabus?
If syllabus will be in your Canvas shell, usually the day before the course goes live. So they don't have to put it in until the day before. Some instructors might already have them up now, but the likelihood is that they'll go live sometime this weekend or Monday at the latest.
So how would I know what I have to get, like what textbooks and stuff I would have to get
The bookstore.
beforehand?
So the bookstore will know what classes you are registered for, and they'll tell you what you need to get.
Okay, so I just have to go in and ask them.
Go in, or if you go on the website, you'll enter your information and it will be able to tell you what books you need for the semester.
All right.
You don't,
I think yeah, one more question is do you need a webcam for online classes? I think it depends on the class.
Yeah, again, most instructors are going to probably require, if you do have some sort of live component that you need to log into, that's going to be dependent on what the instructor's expectations are for the course. But I would venture to say that most are going to want real-time participation and physically see you on camera. Again, that's based on what the instructor prefers, but I would assume that most want you to participate fully with both microphone and video. So that would be a requirement for the course, most likely.
Also, so is our Canvas accounts already made? Is that sent in like an email?
That is in you can access that through the MyCCP portal.
Mhm.
So if you go, I'll put that. I don't think I put that in there yet.
Does the syllabus pop in the CCP portal?
No, it's in Canvas, but in the link that I just put in the chat, that's the link to the MyCCP portal. When you go into the MyCCP portal and you actually log in through the portal, you'll go into the student tab, and you can access Canvas in there.
So it says Canvas. One of the links is Canvas on there,
Yeah, actually, Canvas is right it's on the home page too, so you don't even have to go that far.
Thank you.
It's 1, 2, 3. It's the third. I'm going to share my screen right now so everybody can see it. It's from the top. So this is what the MyCCP portal looks like when you log in. This is the home page. On the left-hand side, on the quick links under Launchpad, Canvas LMS is the third one down on the list. That will get you into your personal Canvas shell, and whatever classes that you have that you're registered for, you would see a specific module and shell in there for each class. Again, it might not be populated yet because they have until the day before the course begins to get in there, but you want to check that over the coming days. And once it goes live in there, That's where you would find your syllabus and all your other materials needed for the course. Other questions?
How much longer is the orientation gonna take?
We've been done technically. This is just open to, it's open Q&A. So anybody who needs to leave can certainly check out now. We are finished with the formal orientation session. I'm going to hang on a couple minutes longer if anybody has any outstanding lingering questions. But again, if you don't have any now and you think of them later, again, the last thing I dropped in the chat is our divisional email address. Feel free to email studentdevelopment@ccp.edu. Make sure you include your J number and why you're reaching out, and we will get an answer to you or get you connected to an office that can get you what you need.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, everyone have a nice, blessed day. I need to take my daughter to an appointment.
Awesome. Good luck to you, and same as with you and with everyone else.
Okay, I'm sorry. Back to the bookstore question because I'm on CCP right now.
Sorry to interrupt. Bye, everyone. It was nice meeting you. I have to get back to work.
Yeah. Go ahead, Key.
Oh, it says my account is now available in store online. So will I be able to get books now, or I still contact the advising because it says bookstore credit spring 23 phase 1. That means I do have bookstore credit.
It sounds like you do. Without seeing it and verifying it for you, it sounds like you've got the credit in there. But you can contact advising just to confirm, or you can reach out to the bookstore because they would know that information if it's connected to your account.
All right, thank you so much.
Got it.
So I was wondering, how do you set up a Zoom meeting with advising? I need to speak to someone like directly.
So they have drop-in hours. You have to scroll way up in the chat, unless I can find it and drop it back in there. On the advising website is information on how to schedule a Zoom appointment or for their drop-in appointments. Let me see if I can get that in here for you. That link should take you to what you need to do.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Bye, everybody. Have a nice day.
I have time for like one more question if anybody has it. Otherwise, you can email it to our student development account. One last burning question?
Just one more question. I just wanted to know, where can you find, I know that you said within the student port in the MyCCP portal, you could find Canvas. So I'm there and I'm currently in the student tab. Could you just like refresh my memory as to like where we would go from there to get that to obtain the syllabi for the semester?
Yes, you want to go back onto the home page. So if you're on the student tab, just jump back to the home page in the upper left-hand corner. And the Canvas link is the third one down and the launch pad. Okay?
Thank you.
You got it.
I really appreciate that.
No problem. My pleasure. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in person or virtually throughout the spring semester. And we wish you the best and the most successful term to get things started here at the college. Welcome to CCP, and feel free to reach out between now and next Tuesday if you have any questions. Take care, everybody.